Chapter 19. Too much. When my mom came home late Friday afternoon, she was hugging a stack of papers. She laid everything out on the kitchen table. "See," she said, "look at this, Nora. The admissions counselor over at Shelbourne Academy, Mr. McAdams, such a nice man. He was very happy to meet with your dad and me. And you should have seen his face when we told him about your IQ test. He thinks you might be able to begin as an 8th grader next fall, so we have an interview scheduled for next Tuesday, right after school. Isn't that exciting? Look at this brochure. Here, that's the new library. That whole building was a gift from one person. Lots of money at a school like Shelbourne. And look at this list. These are all the colleges that Shelbourne graduates got into last fall. I couldn't believe it. Almost 1/3 of the class went to Ivy League schools. Isn't that fantastic? And look at what Mr. McAdams gave me. It's a Shelbourne Academy sticker for the back window of my car." My mom was making plans and spinning out dreamers faster than they make burgers over at Wendy's. Fact. Keeping my intelligence a secret over the past 5 years had been one of the best decisions of my whole life. But now my mom and dad were trying to make up for lost time. They were going to get 1,000 hoops and their little baby girl genius could jump through all of them, one after another. Mom turned away to fill a pan with water and put it on the stove. Then she said, "Oh, I almost forgot. Mrs. Hackney called me at work this morning. She wants to move you into the gifted program as soon as possible. She said something about you being bored with your classes, which I can understand completely. So we're going to have a meeting about the gifted program on Monday. Isn't that wonderful? Everything is falling into place so perfectly." I wanted to scream. I wanted to shout, "Have you lost your mind? Do you stop for 1 second to think about how I might feel about all this?" But I didn't. That didn't seem like it would do any good at the moment. So I just nodded and tried to smile. The whole weekend went like that. Mom and Dad were like 2 little kids with a new toy, me. By Sunday afternoon, they had practically planned the whole rest of my life. If they could have picked out a husband for me and then gone shopping for my wedding dress, I think they would have. Todd was actually happy to have the spotlight aimed at me, completely at me. He liked the shadows. It was much safer there. But I felt bad for Anne. She liked being the center of attention, and she was used to it. She had always been the smart one, the talented one, the one who had finished high school early so she could go to a big-name college. And now annoying Nora had become the star of the family show. Anne didn't say one word to me all weekend. Stephen tried to call me twice, once on Saturday and once on Sunday, but both times I pretended I couldn't come to the phone. That was a rotten thing to do, but I didn't know what to say to him. After Stephen called the first time, I thought, maybe I should call back and tell him that we need to wait a week or so before we do anything else. Sort of give ourselves time to think. When he phoned the second time, I thought, maybe I should tell Stephen that we have to call the whole thing off, just to stop right now and forget about our plan. Then I'll apologize to him for making such a big mess of things. And then I can start trying to figure out how to apologize to all my teachers, and to Mrs. Hackney, and Dr. Trindler, and my mom and dad. And then I thought, maybe I should just change my name, dye my hair black, and move to Argentina. I went over the whole situation again and again. It was too much to think about. And I had to admit it. I was lost. I had 0 facts. I was listening and I was watching, but that next good thing was nowhere to be seen. So I did nothing. All weekend long, I lay low. I tried not to think about anything, which never works. I knew I'd have to talk to Stephen on the bus stop on Monday, and I knew that something would have happened after that. Because that's one of those completely dependable facts. Something always happens next.